All right, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the Cursed Hollow today. The friendly team, Gul'dan, Mal'Ganis, Samuro, Alarak, and Ariel. The enemy team, The Butcher, Samuro, Genji, Whitemane, and Tyrael. We are trying some off-the-wall builds today. We were fucking around with the Laser Gazla for a couple games. Didn't quite work out for me. Still got to iron out some kinks. Today we're going to be trying it was originally going to be a drain life build. I think we're going to change it to just trying to maximize our spell power with Gul'dan here to get the most out of Rain of Destruction. And there's a few really weird interactions that we have to go over with that, some of which we just tested. Oh yeah, give me your clones. Oh, give me those stacks. Some of which we just tested, and I'll do my best to try to explain that throughout the video. The idea being here that our spell power no longer snapshots, and instead... Wait, did that Samuro actually know how to jump over the wall? Uh-oh. If he did, I'm scared. I think he actually knew how to jump over the wall. What are you doing? Oh, stupid. All right, not scared anymore. So we're going to stay with Ariel. Wherever Ariel goes, we're going to go because we are likely the best energy battery on the team for her. The enemy team did just lose their Samuro and the Butcher. We're at 9 stacks of corruption right now, and I just looked over at OBS to make sure I'm in the correct scene. Good job, me. Fucking did it. If you've never seen Gul'dan before, our Q build is the Fell Flame Frontal Cone AoE. Just kind of hits everything with fire. Really nice and simple. Our W ability is Drain Life. It's a channeled ability that allows us to take life from our enemies and return it to ourselves. Very important that we don't drain life into that deflect of Genji, because that actually, it procs so often that he would reflect a lot of damage back into us. Quite a lot of damage back into us. I want to try to pressure him to run away, but it didn't quite work out for me. We are still going to focus on some, stop draining, there we go. We are going to focus on some drain life talents because some of them actually do provide quite a bit of quality of life for the Gul'dan player, if you're so inclined to use them. Some people prefer to use like Health Stone and stuff. Personally, I like Health Funnel quite a bit. Also, people really like Improved Mana Tap quite a lot. Health Funnel allows you to, if you kill a minion while draining its life, your W ability, your Drain Life, doesn't have a cooldown. So you can like Q into a minion wave a couple times, Drain Life, and pretty much live through anything. Ooh, that's juicy corruption. Now Tyrael walking up into tower range, we're just going to Drain Life off of him, and as he goes to run away, hit him with the Fell Flame. The Butcher has arrived back in the middle lane. We're going to life tap a couple times. He'd be very aware that he could turn around on us and stun us very, very easily. So we'll try to just back up a little bit here. 12,000 damage done so far, 3 minutes into the game, not too shabby. We're at 20 stacks on our corruption quest. I believe it needs to go to 40, so we're actually halfway done already, which is fantastic. Fantastic. The first objective of the game is up right now. Our corruption is a skill shot that leaves 3 circles on the ground. They go one after the other. If you land all 3 circles on someone, they're going to be taking a lot of damage over time. If you land 1 circle on someone, they're not going to be taking a lot of damage over time. So you're really, in best case scenario, want to be using this on a target that's running away from you to make it easier to land. I am certainly not a master with corruption. We did play a fair amount of Gul'dan not long ago on the channel. I say not long ago, it was probably like, I don't know, dude, like 8 months. Where we like dove in and I tried to really improve on the character, and all in all, I think I was pretty successful. Like I really wasn't comfortable with Gul'dan at all. And now I feel like I can at least like know what's going on, which is certainly an upgrade. The Butcher being taken down. Samuro swapped out really quickly, actually. I'm going to drain a lot of life here and then go towards our Ariel, hoping for a heal. Of course, one beautiful thing about this build is we can simply drain life off of the minions in the lane, and we can be self-sufficient with our healing. We are going to go for Hunger for Power, increases spell power by 15%, but reduces healing received from allies. Typically, you don't want to take this in quick match if you have a healer. It just makes your healer less effective, and that doesn't feel good for anyone. But in this particular scenario, we're trying to buff. God, I feel like I'm speaking so well today. Holy shit. It actually sounds like I went into this with a plan. Can I just stop and appreciate that for a second? Like, oh my God. I totally lost my train of thought. What we're trying to do is increase the spell power as much as possible for Reign of Destruction, which, you know, has been a bit of a meme for the community for a little while, but we're trying our best to make it work here today. No Lamb of Slaughter yet. We're just gonna really easily walk away from this, drain some life off of some of the Samuro clones. Oh, that's unfortunate. Corruption, go, go, go! 33 stacks of corruption right now. Tyrael is taken down. We're chilling, dude. Nice and easy. Now, a little while ago, it certainly was not recent, but some important mechanics changed inside of Heroes of the Storm. In the past, you used to be able to simply give someone a spell power buff and snapshot that spell power buff on an ability. What do I mean by that? If I'm Kael'thas and I'm sitting back here and I'm waving my hands around, fucking casting my Pyroblast for 25 minutes, as long as that ability has not been, has not left my character yet. I'm really fucking late to this. Previously in the game, you could buff the spell power of that ability and it would snapshot. So it didn't matter if Pyroblast was in the air for 2 seconds or if it was in the air for 30 seconds because you Pyroblasted someone that then used their Hearthstone. It didn't matter. It just did, it did increase damage because it was snapshot at the time of casting. This buff here is not, there's no variable to it. We just deal 15% more spell power damage for the rest of the game. However, there is another talent that we're going towards called Darkness Within. And what that does is increase our spell power after we life tap if we've dealt enough damage to actually proc the ability. I set that up so she could stun him into the wall there. Can we all appreciate that? Oh my God. We'll get our corruption off of these clones. That's beautiful. There's no way that's a real one. We're gonna tap, we're gonna tap. So we have to be smart about how we're using it because it's a weird interaction. So once we get there, our Reign of Destruction will only deal this extra 25% increased spell power if we life tap. It doesn't have to be after the cast, but it probably should be after the cast. Reign of Destruction has a pretty hefty channel time. So you're gonna spend 1.5 seconds channeling. Then it's a 7-second duration, where the spell power buff from the life tap doesn't actually come into play until after we hit the button. I might just rain here. Yeah. I canceled it. Fuck me, dude. Stun, please. Oh, beautiful turnaround. Thank you for the res. We're gonna put a corruption on Tyrael. Now that we finished our quest, that corruption comes back. That's beautiful. We're just gonna Reign of Destruction here for some siege damage. Why the fuck not? It's actually fantastic siege damage. Reign of Destruction is incredible versus a core because a core's hitbox is so big. These projectiles just spread out wherever they feel like within this area. Cancel for the deflect. Beautiful. The core takes up such a big portion of the screen. Its hitbox is so big that Reign has a very high chance of hitting it several times. So our goal is to get the most damage possible out of our Reign of Destruction, which simply means casting Reign and then hitting our life tap if we've dealt enough damage. That's our entire premise here. Previously, that was really easy. Like I said, there wasn't much thought in it at all. Big ass corruption into this. Beautiful. We're just gonna drain life on Tyrael, hopefully enough to take him down. I'm pretty scared here. I'm pretty scared. Backing up, back it up, back it up. We'll life tap one more time. Just try to drain off of these minions. Fucking protected, by the way, so strong. Wait, he just used his deflect. Yeah, you motherfucker. I'm thinking, we doing this? Okay. I do think we are going to take Harvesting Life. So when we drain life versus a hero, it'll drain a little bit more. I'm also going to drain here. We should get the reset because he should die in time. No, a little short there, a little short. But we're looking okay. We're looking somewhat healthy. The enemy team's starting to get the hint that we were doing something here. We may reign if this fight continues, but it looks like they are dispersing a little bit.
Gather tribute or face
Okay. Boss pushing the bottom lane. We can head up to the top lane right now. We do have a 3-level lead and a free tribute here. Although maybe pushing would be a little bit more valuable than the tribute itself. Oh, look at that. We can also increase the amount of life that we leech, right? If we use our spell power increases properly. If we deal enough damage and then tap before the life drain. I mean, that could be pretty good. Nice hit into the wall. I believe that interrupted his deflection as well. And that's a good pickup by our Samuro. All right, we're just going to channel here. This should be a region globe. That'll get us up to pretty high health. We can boss really easily right now if we wanted to. Butcher clear on the other side of the map. And at half health at that. So we just want him to not be moving. Here's the corruption. Try to get as many stacks on him as we can. Also, I don't really want to be the one with my butt in that bush. Because whoever button is in that bush is going to be the first one this enemy team sees. That being said, Samuro's still in the middle lane with all of his clones, so we're not super worried about our invasion right now. Beautiful. All right, going pretty well so far. So here's where the interaction comes into play. After we deal 1,100 damage, which is not that hard to do on Gul'dan, we've done 37,000 this game, we can then life tap, and for the next 5 seconds, we have a 25% spell power increase. So here's our damage. You'll be able to see our... Got him. You'll be able to see our life tap glowing, right? Previously, how this talent was iterated was anytime you life tap, you would get that bonus. So you actually have to deal enough damage to proc it now, which is really not as ideal because I kind of need mana at the moment. So if we reign and then we life tap, you should see these crit. Now, if I can deal enough damage within the window, we would be able to continue to keep that spell power increase up. Ooh, we're kind of just winning the game, though. Ooh, Blade Storm. Back up, back up, back up. Got him. All right, well, I guess that was my 12-minute talk on how adaptive spell power works. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I hope you enjoyed your stay. The game ended very quickly. All right. I mean, I guess it could have been worse. I really wanted to get a good rain. I kind of only showed the rain interaction on our building. But there you go. Talents we went for in today's video. Echoed Corruption, Health Funnel, Hunger for Power, Reign of Destruction, Harvest Life, and Darkness Within. We had an Ariel on our team as well, which gave us another 10% spell power reduction. So 15 plus 25 is a number plus 10. Not too bad. Your reigns can hit pretty fucking hard with that if you time it right. Now, what I didn't fully test is if you throw out the corruption, right? If you life tap while the dot of the corruption is on someone, does that increase the damage of the dot? Because that could be good too. And then I wouldn't feel like I have to hold on to the life tap as much. The downside of this, of course, is your corruption could probably just deal more damage if you went for a corruption build. But if you fucking want to get the most out of Reign of Destruction, I think this is probably the way to do it. We won too fast. I'm sorry. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.